Hi, I'm Patricia Allingham Carlson, and this is my video of how I decide if my watercolor painting is done. All the visual artists I know have some trouble when it comes to evaluating their work and seeing, is it done? Do I need to add more? If I add more, is it going to be overdone? I've made up a video to give you some ideas on how to evaluate your own work after you've been looking at it for weeks. I hope it's helpful to you, and you'll give it a like. Now let's take a look at the video. As you work on a new painting, you become very enmeshed with it. Sometimes you can lose your objectivity. So I've made a video to show you some ways to self-evaluate and maybe regain some objectivity and see if your work is done. One of the first things I do is cover my painting on one side only, and then on the other side. I look at the uncovered side and say, what is lacking here? Where's the balance? Are the colors harmonious with each other, or does something stand out in an odd way? When I've finished that, I'll cover it from top and from bottom and do the same thing. I'm looking for anything that doesn't look like it's working together or balance. For colors that don't carry over anywhere else or look odd or stand out. This does help me to get some objectivity about the overall painting, to see if it's done or what it needs. I'll also take my painting and put it up against the wall and look at it from across the room upside down. Now, I'm not showing this here because I'm working flat on a table, but normally I would step 6 to 8 feet away and look at my painting again. Does anything stand out but doesn't look right? Are there any colors or balances that are just off? The next thing I'll do is the same thing against the wall but sideways. I'll step across the room and evaluate my painting from a distance in a totally wrong orientation, such as sideways. I'm looking to see what doesn't look right or what might be needed. And then I'll do the same thing with it flipped over. The next way I'll look to see if my painting is done indeed is to find a mat, a cut mat, and I'll put it over my painting. This opening isolates my painting from everything else and gives me quite a good point of view as to where it needs work or where it is actually looking completed. One of the worst things you can do is overwork something when it is done. And if you're just not sure, using the mat can really help. Another way is to ask a friend and say, hey friend, would you come in here and take a look at this painting? Is it done? Another technique that I use to self-evaluate my paintings is to take a photograph of my painting and then process it so that all the color is out and it is now a black and white painting. This helps me a lot with composition and with value. If I have a nice mix of darks, lights, and medium tones, it works pretty harmoniously for an overall composition. If I have too many grays and not enough high values or low values, it's pretty obvious when you look at the painting in black and white. This is a really good tool, and I hope that if you have the processing ability on your computer, that you try it out. Make your painting black and white and look at it with different eyes for sure. So you've been looking at this painting that you're working on for quite some time and you've totally lost your objectivity. I'm trying to encourage you to find some new ways to look at it, to get it a fresh point of view. My studio is on the ground floor, so I'm lucky enough to be able to prop my painting up, go outside, and look at it through the window. That's exactly the view I'm showing you here. This is how it looks from a distance, in fact through a window, and I get a lot of ideas about how to tweak and adjust and fix my painting from this point of view. So the question is my painting done? Or what does my painting need? This will give you a great point of view. Take your painting with you into a room with a nice mirror and good lighting. Hold your painting up to the mirror and look at it. You're going to get a totally different perspective because the image is reversed. It's going to look very different to you. And something that you might do better or tweak or fix is just going to pop out at you. And it could happen. And this is one of the best tips I've ever heard of, and I do use it quite frequently. I hope you'll give this one a try for sure. So you've used different methods of self-evaluation, and you're back to square one. You put the painting up against the wall, and then you walk across the room, 6 to 8 feet at least. Turn around and look at it. What pops out at you? Do you say, "Oh, I'm so happy with it"? Or do you say, "It doesn't look right"? If you're still not feeling certain about your painting, then you can go back to asking. You have a family member, somebody you could show it to. Maybe you could send a picture to them online. Or ask a family member to come into the room and say, "Is my painting done? What do you think? What's your impression of it? How does it strike you? Does it look like a completed painting? Or does it need some work?" Now, working with family members is a real pleasure because they can be much more conveniently available. However, you're going to find that your family members eventually get really tired of you asking them if something's done or not. So I advise you to use that method sparingly. Another good method to use is to cultivate an artistic friendship with an artist that you respect and someone who respects you. You can ask each other in turn for project ideas. You could ask if your painting was done, what it might need. You could ask them to give you an honest critique or evaluation. And you'll have to toughen your skin up because you might not like what you hear. On the other hand, this can be a really great tool, and I've developed it with several artist friends, and I hope that they value it as much as I do. If you're still not certain that your painting's done, not done, overdone, or just needs something, my last suggestion is turn your painting around so that it's facing the wall. Don't even look at it for at least a day. Give it a try after a day passes. Go on back to your studio or your work area, look at the painting again and say, "Oh boy, it's done." Or say, "I'm not sure still." If you're still not sure, turn it back to the wall and give yourself a week or give yourself a month. I promise you, at some point in the future, you're going to get more objective about it, and this has helped me a lot. I hope it helps you, or I hope one of the other ideas I've discussed does too. Good luck. Enjoy your painting. I hope you enjoyed my video of how I decide if my watercolor painting is done. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And you can subscribe at the links below. Clicking on the bell will give you a notice whenever I post a new video. Also below there's some links in the if you click on the See More box, and you can check out my Facebook art page, my blog, my prints, my products, all kinds of stuff. Keep on creating. I'll see you next video.